Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Nice. Way to go, OP. Why are Karens like this? Why not just find another parking spot or wait patiently? I just can't wrap my head around being rude to someone because they aren't putting away their groceries fast enough. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Karen wasted no time honking and yelling for my parking spot. This happened to me a few years ago. I was hobbling a little because I have had joint issues, many joint replacements. I remember it was a busy weekend, football I think. I'd gotten lucky and procured a close spot to the front of the store. This was at a Smith's grocery store. Anyway, I was in the midst of opening my trunk lid and beginning to put groceries into the trunk when a car pulled up and waited for my spot. After barely a minute, the driver tapped the horn and I looked over at her. She then waved her hand like, "Hurry it up." I scoffed because it had only been like a minute and my cart still had the heavier stuff like a gallon jug of milk, soup cans, bottled water, and a case of beer. It was hot and I was getting grumpy. She had the audacity to tap her horn again and yell something at me. I couldn't catch what she said, but the tone of her voice was extremely rude. I turned back at her and did the "what" motion with my hands. She responded by yelling, "Well," and holding both hands up, palm side up, exaggeratedly shaking them. What a nasty person. At this point, the blood was screaming in my ears, and I felt the heat of fire on top of my head. I was seething at her direct rudeness and entitlement towards me. That's when the petty monster reared its ugly head. Smoke coming out of my nose, fire in my eyes. I slowed my usually rushed pace down and putting the stuff in. Grunt, grunt. This is so heavy. Struggle, struggle, struggle. Finally, I put everything away, then slowly walked the cart to the corral halfway down the parking lot. I could have just taken the short route and put it back inside the store, but nah. I slowly walked back to my car, fumbling with my keys, and got into the passenger side and put on my seatbelt. I could hear her crazy yelling something at me, and she loudly revved angrily away. She reminded me of that crazy lady Kathy Bates played in Stephen King's Misery when she yelled, "You cockadoodie," in that unhinged way. It was then I got back out and got into the driver's seat and drove away. I kind of looked for her, and she was circling the parking lot 2 aisles away. I slowly passed by her, making sure she saw me. I was looking directly at her with a big crap-eating grin on my hot, tired face, waving exaggeratedly and cheerfully. I just had to show her how I pulled one on her for her stupid, crazy rudeness. The look on her face made it worthwhile. Thank goodness nothing like that happened again. It was awfully stressful. TBH should have gone back in and done more shopping. That was just the first cart of groceries. Actually, if that happened to me at Target or something and I already wanted a new TV, I would have just gone back in so I could walk out with a new giant TV. I see it as a win-win. And our second story. My best performance ever. This happened in the late 90s at the Big Smiley Face store, so I don't remember the exact dialogue, but let me back up a bit. At the time, I was very active in the local theater. We did a variety of plays, from dramas to musicals. We were working on this play about mental illness, and my part was one of the patients in the ward. It wasn't the main character, but I think I had the most interesting part. But I digress. In the play, I got to act as crazy as I wanted because my character had schizophrenia and multiple personalities. Know that I'm not insulting people with mental illness. It was what my director told me to do. One of the personalities was a bratty little boy. I'm a woman, so this was a bit of a challenge for me. The little boy had several tantrums in the second act, including rolling around on the floor, jumping up and down, and repeatedly screaming several phrases like, "I'm a fish. You said I could be a fish." And my favorite, "Pickle boogers, pickle boogers." Yes, it was a dark comedy, in case you're wondering, but it really did have a good message in the end. I was on my way home from rehearsal and decided to stop by Smiley Face store to get something for dinner. It wasn't a dress rehearsal, so I was wearing jeans and a light blue shirt, but no vest, no badge, nothing that would make me look like an employee. Browsing through the frozen pizzas, I noticed that there were some items out of place. Being the neat freak I am, I picked them up and took them over to where they were supposed to be, then continued browsing. A woman with scraggly hair walked up to me. She looked to be around 30 and a bit on the heavier side. Okay, a lot on the heavier side. Honestly, she looked rather disheveled and angry. Do you have X brand of ice cream? I looked back and asked, me? Not usually. I prefer Y brand myself, especially the triple chocolate flavor. You should try it. It's so yummy. Okay, bye. Then I turned to walk away. I heard a huff behind me and then, excuse me, that was not my question. You need to show me where you keep X brand of ice cream now, or I'll tell the manager how rude you're being. This confused me because I hadn't realized fully that she thought I worked there, but I was starting to catch on. I turned around and looked at her rather quizzically and said, why would I keep it anywhere if I don't buy it to begin with? Woman, what kind of worker are you anyway? Are you all this rude? Me. Oh, gotcha. I don't work here, but I'm sure that someone in customer service can help you locate it, if you ask nicely. Woman, glaring at me, obviously not listening. Look, lady, all I want is my damn ice cream. I'm pregnant. Looking at her belly, I thought, that's not a baby. That's probably about 12 cheeseburgers, give or take. But I'm not exactly in any place to judge. I love a good cheeseburger. Me. Ma'am, I assure you I do not work here, so I don't know what kind of ice cream they carry. Woman. Why are you being so mean? I just want some ice cream. Me. Ma'am, I told you I don't work here. By this time, a crowd had started gathering around, and me, being the actor that I am, decided to put on a performance. Winking and smiling at the crowd, I started jumping up and down and slapping my face. I'm a fish! You said I could be a fish! I started shaking my head back and forth with my tongue sticking out. Pickle boogers! Pickle boogers! With a look of horror on her face, she turned and ran off. I started chuckling and then turned to the crowd. I took a very dramatic bow and said, be sure to stop by the local theater in mid-June for the rest of the performance. Free admission on opening night. And then added, I sure hope she finds her ice cream. The crowd started laughing and clapping for me as I turned and walked towards the entrance of the store. I figured after that fiasco, I think I deserved a good cheeseburger. And our last story. Ex-brother-in-law thinks he deserves a free house. Backstory. My 30-year-old male girlfriend's 29-year-old female grandfather owned a company and had done fairly well for himself. So when my girlfriend's older sisters, 36-year-old female twins, turned 30, he bought 2 houses to let them live there rent-free on the condition they save their money and buy the house off him and the company. Planning to do the same for my girlfriend and younger sister when they turned 30, first sister was able to save up and buy the house with her husband. Now for the second house, enter ex-brother-in-law, 37-year-old male. Ex-brother-in-law, now thinking he's getting a free ride, decides to take out a bunch of loans and open a gym while being supported by sister-in-law. She has a well-paying job. They live rent-free for 4 years while his gym just bleeds money. It was only open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2, because he liked his free time. After 4 years, grandfather asked them to either buy the house or start paying rent. Since they couldn't afford the house, they rented out the basement for $1,300 a month while only paying $1,000 in rent, pocketing $300 a month on a property they don't own. Well, sadly, last year my girlfriend's grandfather passed away, so the company and his assets were to be liquidated and sold. This included the house. Sister-in-law and ex-brother-in-law were given first chance to buy the house but couldn't afford it due to all the debt. Now, it just so happened my girlfriend and I were looking to buy, and we thought, what a great opportunity. We even offered to rent to them for under market value so they wouldn't have to move and we'd live in the basement. My girlfriend's father even offered them $900 a month for the first year to help with bills and rent since the free ride was ending, and they weren't prepared. Well, that wasn't good enough for my ex-brother-in-law. He started demanding and threatening they should just get the house. Remember, this is not even his family, but his wife's. Sister-in-law, tired of supporting him and his tantrums, leaves him. She understood the situation and was grateful the whole time. Only mistake was her trying to support her husband's dream. Not feeling comfortable, she moves out. Come time for us to take possession, we give him plenty of opportunity and months' notice to leave before we move in. On move-in day, he's still there throwing stuff into the back of his truck. He screams at us for stealing his house while demanding he keeps the key for the garage because that's his storage. We changed locks right after he left. Once he was off the property, we realized he had left the place a disaster, including tons of garbage and belongings scattered everywhere. For months after, he kept threatening us for all we did to him. Trying to be the bigger man, I offered to store his stuff for 2 months while he finds a more suitable place. I should have never done this, but was also trying to help sister-in-law during divorce as some of the stuff was hers. When he finally came to get his belongings, he refused to take his trailer, loaded up with his stuff, and will sue us if I move it off the property. Fast forward, we got all the belongings settled, but now he's trying to sue his ex-wife / the estate / and us for the house, or at least $50,000 for all the upgrades he put into the house while living there 6 years rent-free. Mind you, no upgrades were actually done, just half-demolished projects that cost us another $20,000 on top of the sale just to finish everything he destroyed. Kitchen, bathroom, deck, etc. None of these projects were asked to be done by the grandfather. He just wanted them for himself. Update. To answer some questions people may have. The reason we were so hospitable in the beginning was because sister-in-law and ex-brother-in-law have kids together, niece and nephew, amazing kids, who we were hoping to spare the trouble of moving or drama. Sadly, that did not happen. The grandfather's estate only went to his direct kids. No grandchildren inherited anything. We bought the house at full market value minus a realtor fee. The sister-in-law did not get anything from the sale of the house. Ex-brother-in-law actually made some pretty disgusting comments, such as, "I didn't expect him to die. Why does that mean we have to move? Just because the other grandkids didn't get anything doesn't mean you can take what's mine, and he's gone now, we should just have it." Remember, not even his family, his wife's. He had to declare bankruptcy due to the gym and is trying to drag sister-in-law down with him. His parents are paying for the divorce lawyer, and he's trying to use the divorce to get the house or $50,000. We're pretty sure he's just trying to intimidate everyone for a payout. We have plenty of photographic proof of everything, an inspection report when purchasing house, also photos of his ridiculous claims, example, charging himself $50 an hour in labor, etc. He's too broke to sue you. Have the junk hauled off your property. Lawyers are expensive. It's not his property, and he doesn't live there anymore. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm fairly certain you can just have it hauled away. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.